some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of FANGIN and BANGIN with Gangrel and Kid Cadet. Yes, we made it to number 9, Kid Cadet. How are you? What happened this week? What's going on in your world?
Well, let's just start this way. So, obviously, Gangrel has his slam buddy. You want to hold him for a second? But I got him a friend.
Who's been mistaken for the guy from the, what is that show? Oh, yeah, Damn Zombies. Walking Dead.
I got him a friend.
You got him a friend?
So, this is the newest addition to our podcast. I got him a Bigfoot friend!
If you can see this, we got it like, oh, that's a cute Bigfoot.
Isn't he a cute one?
Can I see your Bigfoot?
Oh, it's yours.
Oh, it's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, want to trade? I'll give you a Bigfoot.
I'll hold on to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. So, I know a lot of you are listening on Spotify and Apple iTunes and stuff as you drive along, but I have like the cutest, I'm coming across kind of weird, but I have the cutest little Bigfoot I'm petting. Little hairy thing I'm petting. It's a Bigfoot. He's super cute.
Isn't he cute?
And speaking of cute, I have my lovely, beautiful daughter, Ana Diaz, in the studio today watching over there. Te quiero, mija. She's very quiet. She's a woman, a young girl, a few words. Or a young lady, I should say.
She's taking it all in. I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot
Hey.
for a Bigfoot and a...
Yeah, the Bigfoot? Is that disturbing, the Bigfoot? No? Raymond? You like Bigfoot? Did you know about this? No. Well, we're obviously obsessed. This may become a Bigfoot show and forget everything about wrestling and Money in the Bank and all this other great stuff we got to talk about.
You like wrestling too bad.
Speaking of wrestling. Oh, you're throwing a cactus phone. She's throwing a cactus phone.
I was going to say a joke really quick.
Okay.
Before we get into Money in the Bank. This is for Raymond.
Oh, this is for Raymond. Is it a mermaid joke?
It's a mermaid joke. Ready?
This thing's cute. Like.
How do octopuses make mermaids laugh excessively? With 10 tickles. You love it.
But she covered octopuses, which I believe sank many a ships through the years and back in the day. And she believes in the sirens, and you believe in mermaids. But then you threw like the race card out there and say, well, maybe they're races or something. Like the mermaid is a race of what? I don't know. You lost me with that one, Raymond, but we're not going to confuse the rest of the world with that. So we're going to move on. So
Money in the Bank.
So I've had it was a good week. A lot of the pandemic restrictions up. So before we get to the Money in the Bank, did a couple shows. So we did a summer camp show Wednesday.
How was that?
About 400 little kids screaming, "Go, go, go!" So it's super fun. Kids are like the purest level of entertainment. It's tremendous. So and then I was out to Philadelphia this weekend, and so I got the shirt on. It was what the heck is it called? I forget. Signature
Training Academy.
Center. Yeah, but it was Alpha Junior.
Of course.
Alpha Junior. He has a training center, Battlefield Pro Wrestling Training Center, Battlefield Training Center. So it was a really cool building. So I did a show there. It was a long weekend, but very blessed to be back out there on the road again and doing some fanging and banging. And then I got home and got to squeeze in a little Money in the Bank Sunday. Well, I squeezed in some Money in the Bank because there was some kind of glitch, and I was struggling with trying to stay awake. This digital glitch or satellite glitch was going on. It started when the men's match was coming up.
Right, it started for like...
So I didn't know if the ladies' match was just so bad. Somebody did a cyber attack on something, but nothing against the ladies. It was just, I've never seen such misuse of ladders in my life. But
well, didn't you feel like the ending was almost a swerve? Because, we did our predictions. They were predictions. I hope no one actually took our word and went and bet on us.
Well, Alexa Bliss should have won.
I
don't care. I like it. And I know we touched earlier on other things. You're like, how far? Did somebody ask a question, or did you ask the question? Somebody asked,
what?
How far is the sports entertainment with characters? What was it, like mind control? And I said, well, I'm not sure if I'm caught up in understanding things. And then got to see a good taste of the going up the ladder, meeting icons. It was like hypnosis. It was a type of hypnosis going down. You know what? The fans liked it.
Did you?
I did. I wasn't against it. I found it interesting. It didn't do it too much to a thing, but it led a lot of what ifs and like moments like, is she going to do something? But what I did love is her entrance. She came out and how she perched like a bird of prey, sitting up there watching the field of play, the bird of prey watching her field of play, as everybody did their entrance, she just stayed there stone faced. I think she glanced over a couple times. It's really hard, other people coming in. But you ever tried to stand on the ropes? Whether you're standing 1 foot over, 1 foot in, and you have a little bit, you can balance with your calves. that amount of time to stand on any rope in any type of way, it takes tremendous skill set. It's not
She's
as easy as
very,
you think,
I mean, come on. She's a very talented athlete, but like you kind of just said, you noticed how she was reacting to everybody. The camera zoomed in on her after every single person entered. So I feel like they really tried to set us up to think that she was going to win. And then we got the big swerve with Nikki Ash. I mean, that was a swerve.
Yeah, I was not happy about that. What is it? Almost superhero, ASH?
Yeah, almost
Nikki,
a superhero,
ASH.
yeah.
Yeah. A hurricane, to me, it almost, and I might get heat for this and I might take this the wrong way, but it seems like a hurricane meets Eugene type of thing. I don't know, just when I'm looking at it seems like that, but I don't know. She gives me anxiety. I mean, I think she's a lovely lady. I believe I met her once, maybe. I'm pretty sure. They're all nice, so I'm not knocking people individually. I just don't understand the character. I get this one more than I did her other characters. Like I was very lost in as her transitional searches for the search of who she is and what she's doing. But Raymond just weirded me out over there. He was doing something. He just freaked me out. I don't know. I got a little weird. But
you're holding a Bigfoot.
But yeah. So well, let's talk. All right, we'll get off the women's match because I don't want to be like all negative Nelly or anything like that because it was a lot of hard work, a lot of talent in there, and it was still yet fun. I just don't comprehend sometimes. Like they did a tug of war, the ladder forever. It was just so like scripted, but everybody was like in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was just. But the ideas were good, but it just took too long to transition. So it's the execution and stuff. Then when the men's match I actually watched that the Money in the Bank match this morning along with the Edge match. Edge killed it.
Yes.
I thought Edge killed it. He rocked it. And I'm not saying that because I was in the Brood with them or anything, or that I think that he's like one of the 5 on my hand that I would trust with my daughter in a room because he's an amazing guy. But he killed it. I thought he killed it. And amazing guy, great match. And but the men's Money in the Bank match that was put together well. They didn't go running right at a ladder and come in and out. They were able to mix it up, break it down. And what the hell? Drew Galloway would have dived over the top. What was it?
Drew McIntyre?
I still call him Galloway because I wrestled him. He was Drew Galloway when I used to work
guy.
him in England. When we wrestled a lot in England, it was Drew Galloway. So I'm sorry. Drew McIntyre. I don't want to get that wrong. So he'll probably get hot too because all that branding and that big, cool logo he's got now.
It is pretty
It is
cool.
really cool logo. Very Thor, I don't know, Stonehenge. I don't know. Very cool. Even though Stonehenge is in England, not Scotland, but
it is.
Stonehenge is a really cool
History.
place too. Have you ever been to Stonehenge?
I've never been.
I passed it every week for months and months and months, like 20 years in England, because we'd have to go down. We'd work in one of the towns in the south, and we always had to pass Stonehenge. Very, very cool.
How? Like, do you think it's aliens, or like, do you really think that these people schlepped tons
I'm
of...
going to tell you this. I'm not going to ask Raymond because he's going to tell you it was mermaids that built Stonehenge.
They swam and moved around.
There was water. England's an island, and the mermaids worked their way, and they built it up out of the water and something like the New Zealanders with the hook. The hook goes down and saves the island. They hooked the island and brought it up from the depths of the ocean. That'd be something Raymond would come up with, some mystical stuff like that.
Raymond.
He's also the one that pitched the Loch Ness Monster to me one time too.
Oh.
Over Bigfoot. He's got heat with Bigfoot. You know what?
It's all right.
Bigfoot's got heat with you too.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a men's ladder match. I thought was great. I mean, did I see Big E winning? No. I mean, and I told you, I know we brought up and we talked about Big E. I have nothing against Big E. I just, I felt sad. Speaking of the New Day, I felt sad for Kofi. I mean, I guess that was the spot. They built Bobby Lashley as a monster, but boy, did he take some rough landings there. In my world as a trainer and a professional wrestler, that watching some of the bumps, or what we would call bumps, how the particular falls or from the throws and the move sets. There was one that he looked like he spiked his shoulder and his head, a couple on his hips and stuff, like, which would beat you up over a period of time. So, I really hope, and I'm sure he is, because Kofi's a tough dude, and he's a tremendous competitor and entertainer and an athlete. He's an amazing athlete. Hope he's okay, because there was a lot of gnarly, like some falls.
I mean, I think I saw a picture like with him and Xavier and Big E kind of celebrating after.
Well, they're New Day.
So
Bootios.
Have you tried that cereal?
Is it really a cereal?
Yes.
Is it like Fruit Loops?
Have you had it, Anna? No.
No Bootios for you, Anna? Take you for a Bootio girl. How about the booty? Bootios.
Okay. Well, so I was going to say, like, one of the things, like, I always find interesting in, like, a ladder match or a Money in the Bank match especially is, like, when you see them kind of, like, waiting for their timing and they're, like, going for the...
Dude. It's furry, Raymond. It's soft and cuddly.
We need to name him.
Oh, let's not name him Raymond.
Homer.
Homer? I don't know. But let's go back. We'll put my Pandora's box.
Or in the comments, what should we name?
Yeah, what should we name the Sir Bigfoot here?
Yes.
Let's we just call him Sir.
You can call him Sir. But yeah, like when they're reaching for like the briefcase and you could see that they have to go especially slow or they really have to take their time getting the hook up.
He over to look at the shoulder. Are they coming? They're coming. It's the only thing I didn't like about the McIntyre things. When he looked over, he knew a chair was coming. He was like, wait, and then the chair came from. Which I'm Jinder Mahal. I'm so glad to be back. But let's not get away. Let's go back to I love Jinder. He's a good dude too. But yeah, like so. Like the men didn't do it as much, but they did it a couple times. But in the young ladies department there, there's a ladder. The briefcase is there, but they'll set another ladder. You know, why'd you set two ladders? Like if you just went up the ladder, you'd win. So there was some struggles with me like that. But you know what? I'm not in the match. I can't knock what they're doing. I'm not going to climb a ladder. One of my biggest falls in wrestling was like me not doing ladder matches. If you remember right, when it went with the Hardys when the New Brood, right? Mm-hmm. Is I have a fear of heights. I don't like heights. It's funny that we live on 21st floor because I always like look over the balcony kind of like this, but I love being out there, but I don't want to look down. But you know, once you get if you get in those ladders and you look up and you look down to the floor and the potential coming from the top of the ladder to the floor, like Jeff Hardy would do sometimes, is insane. But they were going into those ladder matches, and I had made it really clear earlier in my day that I wasn't climbing those ladders, which pushed me to management. So instead of the free bird thing being at 3 and mixing it at any time, I kind of got like shuttled down, and which was probably like one of my slow deaths is not. Really competing, or I would have if they told me I had to and stuff. I would have figured a way, but don't think it would have been even nearly as well or done as the women did. You know, so I'm not knocking them at all. I was just watching as a fan, and you know some things, and I thought the men stood out better. And it's not a gender thing at all. It was just
the
use of ladders, the structure of the match, and how it was put together and stuff like that. Not that I could do any of that. I can't. And I'm not going to climb up the ladder, so don't get me wrong.
I did I didn't expect Nikki Ash to win, but I like how she did win because it was kind of surprising because everyone else was fighting and then she took the opportunity. So, like, I respected that moment.
You know what I was kind of hoping?
What?
Okay. So they buried Alexa Bliss under all the ladders. Like, let's just forget about Alexa, right? Mm-hmm. So I see Nikki come up, but Alexa still hadn't come. I was hoping secretly that they did some crazy production stuff. Went out there and put a bunch of cables on the ladders, and then the ladders just fly up over there, and everybody kind of looks at the ladders, and she just Undertakers up from there. And then she mind powers them or whatever, hypnosis them or glams them like a vampire. Brings them, you know, and she goes up and they go down and they're just helpless while she just takes it and she just stands up there, go, ooh, with a little head turn and that little evil look. Yes. Yes, it is safe to say I like Alexa Bliss. Yes, now that I'm catching on the current product, I don't think it's too much. You know, I don't think.
Okay,
I don't think it's too much because I mean I did some stuff similar and on a Spain tour. I told you, I came out with a box and I would control guys literally. Feed me for the clothesline or suplexes and stuff. One of them was Corey Graves back then. He would go along with it. That's probably why he gave me the 19 staples in my head with that chair. Because he got tired of being mind controlled. But it's a tough one. But with TV and stuff, but they didn't do it over. There was one moment they did it. You insinuated like something was going to happen, like when she had the whole ring for herself and she kind of sat there and it things. But that one moment happened, but you lead to believe, like, what can you do? Or what are they going to do? So they kept you watching, so it kept you engaged. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's silly to a lot, but at the same time, you stayed engaged to watch because you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Is she going to be able to do that? So, like me, fanboying it, watching as a fan, I was waiting for those ladders to go like some kind of like, you know, Hollywood shit or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, things are obviously different.
You know? And I would have been even dope if she had a harness too, where she came up and she was like,
Yeah, this is some Hollywood like A-list production
that's
stuff.
That's where we're
in your
going.
mind.
So it's like, well, it's not so far fetched,
But it's different with the live crowd now because before they could do pre-tapes
Yeah.
and then something like that was super easy. But
But
in front of a live,
I think
yeah,
still
live
would've
crowd is
popped.
different.
But they all looked super happy to be working in front of a live audience.
For real. It felt different as a watcher too.
Yeah.
So
what was your favorite match?
So I'm going to say Rhea and Charlotte. I think.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even touch on that.
Yeah.
And the crotch chop and the flip off to the fans from Charlotte. Was that, you think that was frustration, or I don't think she's trying to cut. They were both borderline face heel. I don't even know really who
I think it's two heels. Yeah.
It's two heels, right?
Two
So
heels.
I'm not sure, which direction that was, but she clearly. Well, I don't know if that was a Peacock edit or what when the screen went black, but definitely saw like a DX motion to like suck it, and then went black, and then when it came back from the black, there was definitely a middle finger in the air. So I don't know what happened in that second in between that. I don't know if she gave the old
never know.
Kenny Power or something, like that, or something, or I don't know, but she definitely get people's attention, and as being and I can tell you this, it's really hard to be in the ring and giving 110%, and the fans chanting like Becky, we want Becky, or whatever they were chanting. It was something of that nature, and
but I think it's on purpose. Like I feel like they did it on purpose.
Well, they want to be part of the show. They want to feel that they could control that. So then when she acknowledged this, that it just gave them more, empowered them more. Mm-hmm. But I do know. It's tough though when you're in there wrestling. For me, it was. There's been times like, for example, I think it was in Orlando. I don't know. I remember this because I think he gave me a black eye and some stitches. I was wrestling Matt Hardy, but he's with Lita, who was managing him. But you're in there wrestling really hard, and I remember that particular night we were just dropping bombs on each other. It might as well have been hockey, we were just going, boom, boom, boom. There was no we were laying some lumber on each other. We're putting it on each other, and no matter how hard we worked, they were Lita. Nothing against Lita. I love Lita. She's a lovely individual, like a great person. Deerfield Beach girl. Woo! South Florida, baby. And then, but it could be a little discouraging, It can sting a little bit when you're in there, ego-wise or whatever, or just that that you're pouring your heart out. But they do that. But you motor on, and they motored on, and then had them at the end. They got the people at the end. They were right where they all needed to be. All the fans where they needed to be. I was where I needed to be. And I was sitting with Anna watching it. And I'm going to say I popped, but I like that. I liked that there was just a moment of like sheer meanness that she seized the moment and won with that moment where she came out and she smashed her head into the pole, the whatever the LED boards or whatever on the pole.
Ow.
It was that boom. She dropped back, the leg dropped into the stairs, between the stairs and the pole, the frame of the ring, and a couple vicious kicks, and went in there and finished it. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. And then they had a rematch on Raw, and then then ASH came out there, darling Nikki, and she took me to her castle, and I couldn't believe. Never mind. Prince,
I love
rest
that song. Nikki! Yeah, it's a good
Nikki,
song.
I want to grind. I'm not saying she did, but we're singing darling Nikki. All right, whatever. Enough. I can't sing, but that's your department, not my department. You're the singer. Yeah, you're all that. You're all the entertainer. I'm just the dude over here.
Sure.
But yeah, she came out and cashed in on Raw on the rematch, which the rematch was going well. I thought it was, it's hard to come off a pay-per-view match and go to Raw and then come up with something more new and creative. But I thought they did well with that. But then she cashed in on it.
So
ASH.
where do you see it going? Like, do you see her feuding with Rhea? Do you see Charlotte? Does Becky come back? Do they build that up for SummerSlam? Like,
I don't
Nikki
know.
and Becky?
I did see that coming in the thing. Even though I said with their booking and how they write things, I set it down. They'll probably put the thing over Hurricane, Nikki over the Nikki superhero, almost superhero, which it's clever. I think it's clever because it makes her an underdog. It is a clever thing, and then. But where did they go with Otis after he won Money in the Bank?
Nowhere.
So kind of similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fans like it's a funny, lighthearted type of character. It's fun. But where did it go? Right. So wherever it went, it'll probably be the same place this goes.
Time shall tell. I mean, we're building to SummerSlam. That's the next pay-per-view, right?
Yeah,
SummerSlam?
So who's it with? Charlotte?
I think Becky comes back. She has to.
All right, so okay.
But I don't know if it's.
I don't know. I'm not educated enough on the product. I mean, I just watched what I watched, and I don't know. I don't think it'll be a short-lived run if it even makes it to SummerSlam. Thinking that probably be lost in the next Raw or two here, and then they'll move on. So some other bigger angle could be Becky, something of that nature, or even a 3-way. Or something, Becky, Charlotte.
Fatal 4 too. You never know.
Or maybe Fatal 4.
Yeah, lots of options. Did you guys watch the pre-show with the Mysterios and now the Usos tag team champions once again?
Yes, and I'm not. I don't know what happened, like legal wise, with Usos, because I'm friends with the family and everything. And I'm not gonna call them and ask them about anything like that or anything, but. I was surprised that they pushed forward with stuff. A lot of times they cut ties with people and just on an accusation, because in this country, you used to be innocent until proven guilty. Now it's good. But yeah, sorry, it looked guilty, but I don't know. I love those kids. I've known them since they were 17. So, I'm always going to pull for them deep down inside because they're my friends. Not that I agree with drinking or driving or whatever he's accused of, whatever it was. I don't agree with that kind of stuff, but I pull for him. So I was glad to see that he was still there. But it could be because they didn't want to rewrite the finish.
But things.
Although I didn't like that how they. I think it could have been done better. I like the tag match and they beat them, and that was cool. The pre-show we're talking about. I don't want to steer away from that, but that pre-show. If you didn't watch the pre-show. But I guess you realize that they've already had a couple matches with Dominic and Ray, right? Mm-hmm. So the Usos. But I think they could have came out more creatively than they marched down and just pull them off one. I don't know. I think you could have put a little more thought in how they came in and stopped it. Built a little bit more drama because, But that match though was a tremendous match.
Anything with Ray is a tremendous match. I'm sorry. I think he's one of the greatest of all time.
Well, you're talking about Ray. I went back to the Edge and Roman. So.
Okay,
I know you like Ray. And
I do.
The first time I ever wrestled Rey Mysterio was WCW. I knew of Ray, but I didn't really know anything of Lucha or anything like that. So there was a match where I wrestled with I think they call me Dave Heath. My name is David, but they call me Dave Heath. And I wrestled Ray, but I hadn't talked to him before the thing. So it was at Universal Studios, and he had just come in. He's been there, but I know anything. And he was out playing football or something. They were like, "Hey, Ray, you're up next or something." And we ran out there and called everything in the ring. And he is so light and so agile that I literally, which is a DQ in WCW or NW, I threw him over the top rope. I went up to drop his neck and thing. You'll see where he's so light, you'll see where his quad or his thigh hits, and he flips over to the floor and stuff. But no, he never mad at me, and we've gone on to be friends and stuff. So no, that was a good tag match. No, I like the finish where he took the brother Uso. He took the 619 for his brother. He sacrificed it, and they went to a false. He came in a false, but then he was there to come back and then steal the win with the feet, on the schoolboy, the feet and the thing. So no, it was good. I thought it was a great match.
But like you were saying, so obviously that pre-show match, went into the main event, and then we had, Roman Reigns retaining, and then the big pop of the night, John Cena returns.
Right. Which, I think you mentioned to me earlier when you first came in this morning, you thought I took a lot of steam off that match.
I did.
We talked a few episodes back, and I didn't think Cena with his movie schedule or anything would be even open for a month run or something. But I guess it wouldn't technically be a month run, it's thing here or there. But insurance-wise, when you're on movies and stuff in between things, how you can get cleared to wrestle. But so I made the way he made it look, it would be Cena and Roman Reigns, SummerSlam. It's what you have to believe. You'd believe it was Lashley and Goldberg. Goldberg came back. So you're frowning on that. I could tell that you're not happy with that.
I'm not frowning. I'm just over it. I mean, I guess is he from this area too? I know Goldberg lives down here,
I don't know. Right? He played for the Falcons. I'm not sure what area he's originally from or where he lives now.
I don't
Is
know.
he down here now? I mean, when I first started, when I didn't first, earlier in my career, when he came on the scene, I was still up there doing a lot of things and all that. And then, so I watched him come up, and he wasn't really friendliest person to the new guys or guys he didn't know if they weren't in that like the elite or the high performance level, right? But I've later in life I've hung out with him and had great conversations, and he's treated me like super great, and not because of who I am. He treated Joey, my buddy, just completely sane. Had Joey come in. Joey sat in his like I want to call it a penthouse, a suite, a really nice suite. Took Joey in and he sat there and he talked to Joey. So over the years, like I'd say he's at one thing, but he's become a really nice human being. And,
good.
Like at least from my experiences. And I seen him change. Yeah, because I didn't always have that opinion at first, because it's like, oh, this guy didn't even say hello, you know. But we can all get caught up in some kind of crap later. But in his later years, and he's already, he had the Goldberg with the show with the cars or trucks or what is it, the car shows. He's had a few things.
I don't know.
He had all kinds of shows, and he just came back and did another comeback from something. And he treated everybody all the way down the pole, the people that like just started lacing the boots up, like super nice.
Well,
and invited
that's what's
them
most important. Like at the end of the day, that's what's most important. I have to say, like I'm not the biggest Goldberg fan, but his entrance, I'm an entrance person, and I always loved his entrance.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Gilbert or Goldberg?
Oh gosh, well, it's so funny because like Mick Foley always does a joke about at least Gilbert had a sparkler. Mick Foley just had to kind of walk on down. I mean, like Gilbert, I guess. I don't know, like the comedy of it. I don't know.
Who was it? Was it Luna Gilbert work, or was it China? I think it might have been Luna, where he just did the spear and he dropped. She's standing there like. Then I also watched. I think it might have been Luna, because at the time she was doing a lot of like the intergender stuff, where she beat Babu up, who was Pablo Marquez.
Oh, okay.
Pablo. She beat the heck out of poor Babu or whatever. Like, so she was doing a lot of things. So I think it might have been Luna that he worked with, but poor. I felt bad anybody that worked her. She's a beast. She just beat the heck out of guys. Well, and we talked. I know somebody commented on the YouTube things about the Screech thing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I did.
They said,
see
"Don't
that.
hate the college years."
Don't hate the college.
That was
Okay.
you. I was directed to you.
I felt personally attacked. I'm sorry about that. It's all right. We can all have our opinions.
And I do, for everybody out there, I do read all the YouTube ones. I see them because they come in through my email. So I glance at them and I erase them, then I kind of forget. But I do read them and I do smile. So thank you for all the comments and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of there are questions too that end up in here. So Raymond goes through that and puts them in there. Somebody does. The Pandora's box does it just magically surprise.
Are you sure? I feel like it does. Let's go with that. It magically appears.
What do you think there, Bigfoot?
Sir.
Big sir.
We'll stick with sir.
We got Big E, we'll call him Big Sir. Big B.
Big B.
Big B.
Aww,
all right.
So I know obviously Cena coming back, probably to promote, his movies. You had mentioned also you're doing some events in Boston, so you were hoping to run into his father. I think Johnny Fabulous.
It's funny is when Cena came in. I was watching this morning, so it's fresh on my mind. Like, just literally watched it an hour ago before he came into studios, and he comes out, and that's John Cena to me. Besides like being extra really white, I noticed his legs are like extra white. So I'm still that '80s wrestler. I like tan fat's better than white fat. There is no fat on Cena though. I'm not saying that, but I'm all about that Hogan's like 80s tan, brother. Like
a tan. His tan is a tan, yeah.
So like, always being on the 6 P's, proper planning, piss poor performance, being tan's one of your proper plannings, because you're always gonna be ready when they give you the call. And nobody ever noticed. And we're speaking of tans, and see, this is the ADD kicking in on me. And I don't know if we've covered this or talked about this before, but like I was one of the tannest guys in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
and I wrestled as a vampire, and nobody ever questioned like, why are you so tan? And I always had it. I was always ready, and I still use it today. If anybody ever says something, I say, I'm a tan pirate, dog.
How are you like? Because I always see you out on the beach. So you're all natural tan, or do you like to?
Every once in a while, when I know that I have like it's a TV thing or something, and it's rainy season in South Florida. So it could rain for 2 weeks straight. The rain and the sunshine doesn't always meet your schedule. Like when we're in the studio, some of the times when it's sunny here and then it's raining when we get out because it's the afternoon thunderstorm. So I will occasionally do a stand up here and there just to maintain, because a lot of times I get really darker here at a hole, but then when it's getting pale, like in the armpit area, I'll be like really, really white. So I don't win too many matches, but when I do, and you got your arm up, it's like,
you don't want to have like a white armpit.
Yeah, I'm getting some gnarly hairs there. It's like a spider's nest. Who's hairier, my armpit or Bigfoot?
It's a very close call.
What do you think, Anna? Who's hairier?
Where one
Ooh,
stops, one begins.
Nobody can hear the head nod, but we got you.
I think it was more of like an eye roll, but that's all right.
See, eye rolled me. See, I got my shades on. See, that's the downside. Or it's the blessing of shades. I don't notice all the eye rolls all the time. Well, how many eye rolls have you given me?
0.
Okay. How about you, big sir?
I think one of the comments that I did see, and I don't know if it's going to be in Pandora's box, so I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but I think after SummerSlam, the next big pay-per-view after that, I would say is the Rumble, right? Would we say SummerSlam? Rumble?
AEW has what in between, or what's AEW is?
Well,
Raymond doesn't watch. He's over there, just works. He just does editing all the time, so I ain't got time to watch this stuff.
Well, I saw somebody comment that they'd like to see you enter the Royal Rumble. Now, if that was an opportunity like presented to you, what are your thoughts on that?
I hear a lot of I see a lot of comments like that, or people tell me they would love that. No, of course it'd be awesome. I mean, I still wrestle every weekend, right? So WWE Royal Rumble, that's star power. You go back, you're good for a year of indie booking still. Even though I'm blessed, I'm solid on that, and I like to thank everybody and the promoters for that and all the fans. So if it wasn't for you, I couldn't do that. But also thank you for like a lot of people saying they would like to see me in that. It would be fun. I think it'd be awesome. Great to go back. It's always good to see people like Adam Edge and stuff like that, and meet the younger talent that you don't quite know. I mean, I know a lot of them. I've been blessed to work a lot of them before they were picked up and went through the farm system of NXT. The McIntyre and Sheamus and a lot of those guys. A lot of the English lads, because I did all those tours and different people coming up. And then like Adam Cole, if he ever comes up the roster. I've wrestled Karrion Kross a lot, so he debuted on Raw.
He sure did.
He did, and Jeff Hardy beat him. I was like, whoa! It's like, how are they going to do this? And then Jeff got him there, and it was kind of a feet on the ropes, and Jeff kind of did what you had to do, kind of win, because Jeff's not a heel or anything like that. So it was kind of do what you got to do to get a win on the TikTok times running out. Big guy, Karrion Kross, who's a monster. He's a beast. And
he is, but I miss Scarlett. Like, I feel like the two of them together were such
they split him, no?
She wasn't there. Yeah. So like the entrance.
Well, I heard something like they were going to try to do that, but I didn't know.
Yeah. I think she's training. I mean.
Right. That will definitely can use more women, especially the ones with talent. So we'll see what happens there. But but it was cool to see him debut. So like to work these guys throughout different things with like Cross. I did a lot of the West Coast stuff, Vegas, Portland, and different things and stuff like that. So it's always super, super cool when you get to see guys. They get in the NXT, they work their way up, and then they get utilized the way that you believe that they're talented enough to be. Like when you were working, I'm thinking, oh man, this guy's got it. He could do it. And there was a lot of times that he doubted himself, and through the conversations that I've had with him, like trying to make the right decisions, like TNA, there was different things, which way to go. But he held his course. He stayed the course, and I'm happy for him. So it's cool like that to see that. I forget what our question was, Jeff Hardy.
Well, I think we kind of started with like the Rumble thing.
Rumble, come back. So it's cool to see people, and it's also good to go back and see people where they are from where they've come from, that you knew them before. Like, and you go there and you see where they are now and how they carry themselves. And most of them always are super respectful.
I just can you imagine? Well, of course you can imagine, but like us as like the crowd hearing your music hit, like that would be, I feel like the biggest pop.
It's also
like it wouldn't even.
It's also the biggest fear. Your biggest fear,
right?
What if they don't react? What if it kicks off and just is quiet? There's no education. You're coming back. You're surprised. So every indie show I do, and they go, oh, which music do you want? Sometimes I'll tell them to play the Danny O version. Most of the time I'll say Danny O, because jump, what was you thinking? It's the Brood music, but it's also got jump, what was you thinking? Stepping into the realm with the deadly, sinister vampire warrior. Bust that bust. But that song will always get them, even if they don't know the other one. That kind of gets them going, and you come out and feed off that energy. You can cover if they don't know you. But when they go, oh, we're just playing the Brood stuff, right? The Gangrel, the thing. Okay. So now you're like, you hear it, the backward masking and all. And you're like, so as that's dropping, your heart's dropping, the butterflies going and going, oh God, please, do they remember? Like, because like they don't. That could be deflating to you. You're like, forget the Deflate Gate, like Brady, like your souls are singing, but then they're like, oh, and then I was like, oh, thank you, one more night. I got one more night to do what I love, and they're still with me. Thank you.
Of course, they're still with you. Oh my God,
so
of course.
to go on a big grand stage, so to go from 400 people to 40,000 people or a live attendance or whatever it may be or more, and then not the ones watching at home, there's probably the same reactions to the one at home or the ones there, you know. So if it's nothing, like, oh, it's your biggest fear is just standing between a curtain, like wait. But then when they do go, it's a rush too. It's a tremendous rush.
Do you? I know that you mentioned like
you're making me sweat, big dude.
I like that you're still like coddling him like a baby.
These are babies.
Do you still like get nervous as far as like besides like the butterflies, like, oh, are they gonna pop for you? Like, do you get nervous like before you
every match is the same as my first match. Like the nerves are different. Like say WWF, there's a lot of stress nerves too. The natural nerves are there, that butterfly stuff, but there was also like, oh, if I mess up I'm gonna get fired. Oh, like you know, there was more higher end stress. But no, I still get the same day one nerves, first match, or every match. I still get them. And, you know, I was told if you don't have them, you should just quit because, you know, you're done, you know?
I always think, like, nervousness is 1 degree from, like, excitement. Like, you're right there. And I always think also Adele, who's, you know, one of the greatest music stars in the world.
Great voice.
Gets so nervous before, like, all of her perform. Like, she's, you know, it's kind of, it's like the human thing, you know? If you don't.
Her on a bad day can outsing most people on their good day.
She's
so,
sensational.
Yeah. Tremendous singer. Tremendous vocalist. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. I'm just as nervous. Like I'm sitting there, like, you know, I'm a lot cooler, calmer in the locker room because I'm older, and I'll sit back in my corner. I'm just really observing the locker room and watching everybody. I still observe same things they told me. I keep my mouth shut, eyes and ears open. Not that I maybe have more experience than most people. If I see somebody's open to advice and stuff, or they come to me, I'll give it. But I sit back and watch and everything, so I'm quiet and I'm calm. But when I was younger, I'd already be pacing like an hour before the match, stretching. But now like 20 minutes out, I'm doing the same thing. So it went from an hour down to 20, but then the nerves kick in at 20, and then it's the same. It's the same, and I think that's what keeps me going. Like, you know, because some of the weekends can get tough. It was like this weekend. I'm always glad when a plane is early, but I've never had a plane be completely an hour early. So, and then the people picking me up be an hour and a half late or more. So, and then in the Philly airport in the baggage claim, they took the seats out for COVID, never put them back. I saw that. So it was like, so you spend almost 3 hours just sitting there like
staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, I finally asked the lady, is it okay to sit on the carousel thing? She goes, yeah, there's no bags coming through. So I went over there. She told me they never put the seats back from COVID. So yeah, I sat over there for a while and started watching YouTube. I think I watched Mean Gene Oakland interviews where they go, and it was cool. It popped up. I don't know, just randomly popped up, and Mean Gene Oakland, when he goes to New York looking for Adrian Adonis's house, you know, like, or his apartment or something, he goes to all these wrong addresses. I don't know Adrian, like some Spanish lady cussing him out or something. Get out of here, you know. And then he finally find him, and then they go, oh, we're going to eat out to a fine cuisine, and they go to a hot dog cart and get like a Nathan's hot dog or a soubrette or something like that. And then they go, and then Dick Murdoch gets lost in a taxi trying to show up there, and he like doesn't have any money to pay the taxi. Great stuff back in those days.
For sure.
And then they flipped it where they went to look for Dick Murdoch in Texas, and they're driving all these different ranches and stuff. And
we like don't have that anymore, do we?
No, but that was fun. And I was quite entertained. I was like, oh, I'm glad I sat this 3 hours. Not really, but I was glad I ran across that jewel. So it was fun. Yeah.
I know we briefly talked about Karrion Kross, but do you think like Adam Cole, it will be like one of the next call-ups? Do you think we're gonna get Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa? Like, do you see?
Well, I know you like Ciampa, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm partial Adam Cole. I like Adam Cole. I mean, there's other ones that put more time in down there though. They've put more time in to come up, but unfortunately, I think you're gonna see bigger guys come up. Like that seems to what they're leading, right? Look how quick Cross went through. But he's a monster. He's a beast. But those guys have put in more time than him. They're earning their stripes in NXT, but maybe in Vince's eyes and stuff, Karrion Kross is more marketable because of his size, and he can jump into that roster, mix it up. Or you got to be in certain programs with the smaller size to come in now. Because I mean, as you watched Money in the Bank, I mean, of course, Rey Mysterio, like he came in out of Money in the Bank. He was on the pre-show, but who's a small, like, they were all pretty big fellas. Like, it's a pretty bigger card of people, like, size-wise.
Oh, definitely.
Like so, of the men. And so I don't know. I don't know if we're seeing that swing back, because we talked about before, they let go of a lot of the smaller talent that what they weren't too invested in yet, you know, cruiserweights, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you heard the rumors they're looking for the bigger guys. So, you know, I feel bad. I feel bad for everybody, but I also felt bad for the big guys when they were getting overlooked, you know, because, oh, well, we got two big guys, you know,
Yeah.
and they were going the other route. So I feel bad for everybody, because I think everybody should be able to experience and do what they love, even if they can only get to the main stage once.
Yeah.
Once, just to say they did it, and to have that feeling. Now, I don't know if that's a curse or a blessing once you get it, because then you want
you
more,
want it.
you know, or you sit back going, oh, I never, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or what if, you know, those can destroy you too. So wrestling, anybody that's listening out there, it's a vicious industry, and I'll tell you, pro wrestling doesn't owe me anything. I owe it everything. It saved my life. So no matter what level I'm doing it on, and I was blessed and grateful to make it to the big show, the big stage, you know. And I had my 15 minutes of fame, and I'm still riding that 15 minutes 20-something years later.
It's a little more than 15
because
then.
I had a great entrance. Mine was all timing, just the right places, the right times, the right stuff happening in culture in the world, or people, you know, Blade movie coming out, vampires taking just they've always been popular in my book. Vampires have always rocked. They always have, all the way back, but it became more, people were more accepted to it, being a cooler culture than to just, this is the monster, you know, vampires were cool. So, you know, Interview with a Vampire, all the different things that came up, Queen of the Damned, that came over, that great one. Queen of the Damned's my favorite out of all those.
So good. So underrated.
Yeah, I love it.
Aaliyah.
Rest in peace.
What a angel.
What a loss, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so I don't know. I'm trying to picture what bigger guys are there in NXT. Now, do other ones deserve to come up? I do. I believe they deserve, but who do they come up more? They're gonna get. We have Death there. Who's your favorite, Anna? Oh, Sami Zayn. She loves Sami Zayn. Right.
Oh, is he back? Is he back at NXT?
So I don't know. Like, I thought I saw a clip on when it was.
I know Finn Balor was like back at NXT.
Finn's back, right?
Yeah.
Finn's back. So.
Well, someone that recently debuted, she didn't go through NXT, but Eva Marie, and now her partner Doudrop, which I'm like,
Doudrop?
Doudrop?
It's like I think it's a code for, like, I like the girl likes women or something like that.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong.
Interesting. I liked her as
It's a term. Is that a term, Raymond? You know? Again, can't Google it? No, too slow Googling?
Doudrop.
Yeah, like, I think it might be for, like, a girl that likes women. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, because
Fine.
I am not cool, nor am I hip anymore. I'm not hip to the hop that's going on in this world and the lingo. I mean, I just learned about lit doing this podcast, because Raymond would be going, that's lit. That's lit. What is Doudrop?
Yeah, you're correct.
I was correct. So it's a term for a girl that likes girls.
Cool.
A gay girl,
Okay.
I guess. I don't
I'm
know.
into it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the lingo, the terms. I don't know, but it's kind of edgy for a PG show to put a lingo in like that, you know. But
Did you catch the interaction between them and Alexa Bliss last night on Raw?
No, I came in after I trained
Anna,
class
did you
last
see
night, so I missed the first part of Raw. I came in at the rematch, right? We came in at the rematch with Charlotte Flair and stuff. So
Yeah, it was. I'm so sorry. Like, I think Eva is gorgeous. I think she looks like a star, but I don't get it.
Oh, they were sitting there, and then they came
And the
in
swing.
and interrupted an interview or something. But I like Alexa just played it off like they tripped or something, like made her trip, or like
Lily, the doll,
subliminally
made
did she
her.
do it? The doll and the doll.
Yeah.
You I'm scared of dolls and rocking chairs, so they're covering all my categories.
Okay.
Yeah,
just.
You know Judy?
get
Remember
it.
Judy?
Yeah, of course.
At our show, right? What I wanted to do is I wanted to do the whole like Bray Wyatt entrance where I wanted Eliza to go out, and she comes out, there's a rocking chair, and she's in the chair with her hair down, rocking. You know?
Never too late.
So so I'm totally freaked out by like dolls and chairs and sitting in the corners and stuff. No, these guys aren't dolls.
Okay.
It's a human being,
Yeah,
Bigfoot. He's a creature of God.
There.
He's a real thing.
Are we ready for
as
Pandora?
I'm snuggling my Bigfoot over here. So what's up, Raymond?
Pandora's box. I believe we're getting
He's already given the golden lasso to go.
getting the
All right, whatever. There,
we good?
Superman.
We good?
Like Wonder Woman or whoever does the lasso. Who's the last?
It's like,
Oh, Wonder Woman. That's the one I fell asleep in. That last Wonder Woman. I know. Here, I'll tell you. Got him. All right.
Okay, you
all right, Raymond.
both.
He's gonna do like. All right, guys. You'll never see me come off the top rope, but my slam buddy, he's gonna do like a flying press over there. Raymond. Like, watch. He's probably gonna hit Anna. He has no coordination. Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Good catch.
That was
Sure,
nice
you wasn't a
landing.
lucha dude at one time, Raymond. It's a good catch there. Good base.
All right. Are you ready for some of these questions?
All right, let me get a breath. I think my shirt's choking up on my goozle. All right.
Goozle. Okay. This is from 10.
Oh yeah, 10. Hey, thanks,
10.
man. You're always on the everything. Thank you for all the compliments, 10.
Well, 10 would like to know, I would love for you to talk about the bloodbath matches and whose idea was it? From 10.
The bloodbath match. I think that would have been. I was probably like, bro, like Vince Russo, like, bro, like, you want to talk about it. Well, that's one of those moments where you question a lot of things because, like, all right, so it was the Brood. The Gangrel didn't come up with the bloodbaths. It was the Brood that did the bloodbaths, right? So, but then the first ever bloodbath match is me and Edge and myself, right? So then, and then that Christian was in an angle where he was like, was he with me or was he with his brother and blah, 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 blah. So I think Vince Russo came up with the bloodbath match.
Oh.
There was only one, I think. And in that particular match, I think I caught it towards the end of the match. I brung a chair up at Edge, but when he hit the chair, the backside of the chair, he caught my eye here. Like I had to go to the emergency room because it got cut in the eyelid right in where it connects right there, so it kept splitting across the face like this. So I was holding my eye in and they had to get a plastic surgeon in. Like, on that part, it's one of the kind of shittier things at WWE. Like, they didn't really seem to care. I went to the emergency room on my own, So you knew you're kind of at the end of your stuff then. Like, what's going on? Like, when high priority, your eyeball's about to hang out. They're like, I won't, So I just went to the emergency room on my own. Usually, they would get something to take care of. But for some reason, that didn't happen that night. For whatever reason. But I ended up with, I don't know, 32 or more stitches in my eye. They had to get a plastic surgeon in.
Did it affect your vision at all? Or
no, I don't know.
peripheral?
Anna, wait.
How many fingers?
4? No.
That's a word.
3.
You looked right at it.
I was looking over there. I was looking at her. Like I didn't cheat. I looked. I didn't.
Okay.
Sure. Easy. I'm getting high. Easy. All right. So, boom, I got hit with the chair, so it was out, so there's a lot of blood already. And then the lights go out or something, and then ultimately Christian dumped the blood on me and left with Edge. So it's not that I came up with the bloodbath match, but I was the vampire of the group of somewhat possible vampires. They might possibly have been ghouls, like half vampires, right? Because you never had the fangs, right? So they were like ghouls. So is it kind of like, man, was that like, was that the calling card at the end, and then take yourself to the hospital, go get yourself fixed up. So I don't know. That always sits kind of funny with me. I'm not upset about it or anything. It's just one of those moments where you do a lot of thinking, like, what's going on here? Was this the beginning of the end? Which it was sort of, but then it wasn't because I had a lot of chances to come back. Then I broke my neck, so. Mm-hmm. And then I was out for a year, and when I got the clearance a week later, they let me go, unfortunately. But the bloodbath match. So that's about. I don't know if I covered everything he asked in it, but the sun.
That was it. Who came up with it? And
all right, Ken. Thank you, man, for all. I see all your compliments. You're on there all the time, and thank you, dude. It's 1-0. I don't know if it's 10 or is it 1-0. Is it 10 or 1-0? 1-0.
Raymond phonetically wrote it out as 10. So
10? Well, it looks like 10 when I read it too, but it's a big one and a big. I don't know.
Okay, it's 10 or 1.
0.
Yes.
Not 0, huh?
You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are. All right, this one is from at 301XY. Wait, 301XJYESH. I don't want to mispronounce that. JYESH.
Just sure.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So they want to know, how are the fans in Japan different from the fans in the U.S.? It's a cool question.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how they are now. I've seen some stuff that, like... So Japan, when I was going, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, it sounded like a Johnny Cash song. We're singing about parts in a Cadillac when he builds a Cadillac, you know, like 61, 67. But through 98, up through 98, the years I was going from like 89 to 98, just 9 years or whatever. They're very respectful. They like the tougher style, a harder style hitting or wrestling, you know, like the suplexes and different things. They sat back and appreciate everything. They're very respectful, clean. They're very giving fans. Like the first trip I went over, I carried very minimal bags, packed my bags to the fullest. So by the second trip and the third and fourth trip, I always carried an extra bag because of the gifts. You would, if you didn't take them, you were being disrespectful. You would hurt their feelings. So if they seen you wearing, like, say if this was an Iron Maiden shirt and I came over to the tour, or they saw pictures in a magazine of me wearing it, when I come there, there'd be like Iron Maiden shirts for you. CDs made from them with all, like a best of Iron Maidens or something, or their favorite Iron Maiden songs. So they were very, very, very friendly. And they paid attention to everything, very smart to whatever's going on in your culture, your world, as you're coming over there, and they would pay tribute to you and show you, like, in their way, it was a respectful thing, and honoring you by giving you gifts and stuff. So, and then I love Japan. Out of all the places I wrestled, Japan by far I miss the most and really loved. You wrestle really, as long as you poured 100% out there. It didn't matter if you were bad. Like when I say bad, if you weren't the greatest of wrestlers, but they know that you work so hard and everything, they appreciated the hard work. And, you know, it's just, they're tremendous fans. Now, as I see stuff over the years, it seems like anything in life, they got a little bit of Western civilization in them. You know, we're more WWF, WWE influence, and then the more gimmick driven and stuff like that. Well, they're always gimmick, like the Big Van Vaders, and they always like that. But I mean, like, just the chants and different things came on later. But they're still a very traditional type of fan where they watch and applaud. You could wrestle, and then, you know, do one running series of a spot, and they'd be like, "Woo!" You know, and then they'd clap and award you a clap for doing a good series of moves or something like that. So they're very, very respectful fans. And where the fans here, it just varies on the city you're in, you know. like I love Philadelphia. The fans treat me great in Philadelphia. I love wrestling in Philly, but I've seen people get eaten alive in Philly. Seattle is another place that the fans will tear you apart in Seattle. Seattle's a tough one. There's a few places that they're tough, but Seattle stands out as being the rough one. Philly, well, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus, you know. Like, you remember that Philadelphia Eagles fan?
Oh,
so
man.
I love the Philly fans, though. Love them.
Now, would you like to wrestle again in Japan? Like,
yes,
obviously...
yeah. Before WWE or anywhere else, I would love to wrestle back in Japan.
All right.
Yes. No. I did the ENC show, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna get you booked in Japan, like, from our podcast." Well, I'm still waiting, guys. I'm still waiting. It's been like 2 years, right? That was 2 WrestleManias ago. Whenever WrestleMania was in Texas.
Yep.
So it's been a minute. Yeah. I was the Yeti on there. I was the Bigfoot. I mean, you guys don't remember that. And New Day was involved too, because they were going back and forth from New Day. Yes.
This is a good question.
Okay, I'm going to start sneaking in there, reading these questions before we do them.
This one?
I was here early enough that I could have went in there and read them, you know.
Well, Raymond was, like, so secretive. He, like, went into another room to, like, write things down.
Is that why? He probably figured I was reading them before and then pulling ones out I didn't want to read.
So secretive. This one is from none other than Anna Diaz. Okay. What is the one thing you want to be remembered for, not just as a wrestler, but as a person?
Just a good human being, period. You know, that I was just, what you seen is what you got with me. That I wasn't anything smoke and mirrors or anything fake, any like false prophet or anything like that. That I was just straight up, and I try to do the best I can to be a great human being, and that's what you remember me for. Not Gangrel or the Blackheart or anything entertainment wise. It's just I want to do my best, and I really mean that. And just that you just know me for who I am, David Heat, sometimes, you know. And you can get in a lot of world, you get mixed up, and you know, it can be frustrating when you're like, "Yo, Grell," you know, like, "You're my best," but you know, like. But when I leave those people, I think they know who I am, because ultimately Gangrel is me, deep down, after you get to know me, you come in and maybe Gangrel that drew you to me. But then when I have a conversation, I'll try to always speak to all the fans, no matter what. And there's some days that I don't want to talk to people, but we'll talk. And I want them to know who I am, so I talk straight up. I talk like we're talking here, this and that. And I see comments where people go, "Oh," and it makes me feel really good. It's flattering. I don't do it for the flattering, but I do feel good when I realize they see me as who I am, not this mythical wrestler vampire character where they're like, "Oh, he's a good dude, he's from the streets or whatever." And I'm not trying to be a good dude, but I am trying to be. But that means they just see me for who I really am, not just like, "Oh, he's got the best DDT and the best interest in the business." Well, that's all great, and I appreciate those compliments, but that's not who I am. But that will help you learn who I am if you meet me, because that'd be your opening thing and my opening segue to get to know you and you get to know me.
I love that. Anna, can I put you on the spot for a second? Is it okay? What would you say is like maybe something that the public doesn't get to see about David?
He's a softie.
You're a softie?
Softie. Well, I think they see me holding the big for that. Nah, I'm a softie. Hey, don't you even start the rumors that I cry a lot either.
He's a big softie and he cares a tremendous amount for certain people in his life.
You can tell. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Mama. She's not very happy you had her talk.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
She says I was just hearing an observation roll. All right.
That's how we know.
Don't tell anybody I'm a soft. Well, I guess they've all heard that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's public
Anna.
now.
I love you, mija. Te quiero.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah. Why is she so quiet over there mean mugging me now? Now I got heat.
Oh, this is a long question. Okay. This is from King Nacio. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Okay, ready?
King Nacio.
If you had to choose between starting the Brood again with former members, would you rather go to the WWE and form the Brood with Edge and Jeff Hardy, or AEW to form the Brood with Matt Hardy and Christian? Whoa.
Do what? Now, Matt Hardy and Christian, because they're in AEW. What was the other one? Jeff and
Edge. Wait. Yeah, Edge and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, wow. I have to choose between the two.
They're making you pick, guys. Yike.
Well, I'm going to go with... I love Matt, though, but Matt's going to keep evolving things. So if we're going to go Brood, throwback, play off what people are going to remember the most. I'm going to have to go with Jeff and Edge.
Okay.
And plus, I'm going to go with just WWF, so WWE. So I'll pretty much be just like a homecoming, and it's something I'm familiar with. Although it's probably, the landscape has changed so much, I probably really wouldn't be familiar. But... Yeah, no. Yeah, I think they would complement each other better than the other set, yeah.
Interesting. Because you said Matt's always evolving, you mean in terms of his...
well, character-wise and thoughts and stuff, like, so, the Woken and then different things and all that. So if you want traditional, I think Jeff's painted his face, but Jeff's always been Jeff. And Edge is...
Willow, right? Like, he said... Well, I guess not in the WWE, right?
Well, he's always... That's who Jeff is.
Yeah.
That's who Jeff is. But you want traditional, so if I'm going back, it's going to be what I'm going to be the most comfortable with and feel I fit in. So that would be Edge, and Jeff. Yeah, in WWE.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
question.
Wow,
yeah, that's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because in my brain right now, I'm setting up your Royal Rumble coming in with Edge and Jeff Hardy and...
I just... I don't know. It's such confusing times, but I'm glad that like Christian's working, and I'm glad Edge. I was so proud of him, like so proud, watch him deliver that, and I'm not just saying it. I truly was. I'm super happy for him because he's just a good dude. I can't say it enough. What a good human being he is. So I'm just so happy for him. And Jeff, I think Jeff. I don't know. I was worried like when he came out with Karen Cross, and I was like, well, he'll show up in AEW soon whenever his deal's up or whatever. I'm not sure what his deal is or anything, but then he slid him over. I don't know. I mean, that's if he's gonna feud Karen, it's gonna be a rough one on Jeff's body. There's a lot of big bumps coming in his future.
He doesn't seem to mind. I feel like he embraces it.
Yeah, I mean, I never was a big believer of it until my older years now that people say, oh, you got a bump card, you got so many bumps left, or that was just one bump too many over your bump limit, but I tend to worry about him because he doesn't mind, but but I think his body does at some point, you know. And
Oh,
to
boy.
battle the demons he battles and the different things, you don't want to see him get hurt or have to perform in a certain way, or he maybe slips back up and goes different avenues and routes. So you tend to worry about his well-being in the long run, stuff like that. So,
Okay.
as a human, you know, and a friend.
Fair enough. That was a good question. Oop. Okay. This is from Haunted Owl 3X.
Haunted Owl?
That's
Or Alf? What did you say?
It says AL.
Owl.
if
Haunted Owl.
if Alf is asking a question, that's amazing.
He's hairy like Alf. Alf would eat your cats, though.
That's right.
There's no cats in this neighborhood. I
No.
wonder if Alf lives around here.
And Bigfoot just likes clams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what is clams? Okay, yeah, go on. Haunted Owl.
Okay.
XXX. or
3X.
X. 3X.
Do you have any stories about New Jack? And what did you think of his wrestling style? Example, being unsafe to work with and cutting and stabbing people in the ring.
Well, I've worked New Jack on numerous occasions, and I was never stabbed or cut in the ring. But I'm friends with New Jack, or I was friends with New Jack. I was sorry to see him go. A lot of, I don't know. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring thing, the mass transit stuff, and yeah, that's a bit extreme. But I don't think I ever saw that side of him when I was with them. We did do some strange things like when I had to work him. Not strange, but you people in the regular world might feel it's strange. But he'd be like, "Hey, vampire, we're working tonight. Jump in the limo."
Bad gang.
But I never had any problems. What do I think of that? I don't think you should stab anybody. I don't think you definitely shouldn't take a scalpel from temple to temple. But I never experienced any of that with them. And I felt the brotherhood and the camaraderie with them. I always felt like I was with, family or something. I always felt very, very comfortable with them. So I felt well with them. My experiences were well with them. I do feel sad for other people's families or different things that stuff may happen. And do I agree with that? No. When you're in a ring, you have to trust each other. If you got a problem with somebody, you go in the back, go to a room. If it's talkable, you go in the room and you talk to the person about it. Like, I have a bad habit of this because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So, I'll wait till I get to the back, but it might be in front of everybody, which is not right. It's not right to do. You should wait, go in another room, and try to talk it out, or bring a mediator. Bring somebody that'll keep cooler heads and a witness to vouch for you didn't kill each other or something. Whoever threw first punch, if there's something like that. If they had to come down to that, just because everybody sues everybody now. But you should go in a room and talk privately about it. And as a professional, this and that. Some things you just are too out of hand to talk, and it'll get carried away. But it should be handled in the locker room, not in the ring. Because if you don't trust each other in the ring, that's why you see terrible matches. If you're scared to even let the guy give you a suplex, or let your feet leave the ground, or let you lose control of your body, or trust him to control your body, it doesn't make for a very good match. It doesn't make for good entertainment. And it is pro wrestling, but it's also sports entertainment now. So, and you have to entertain at a certain level. But if there's no trust with each other, amongst each other, it's going to be a horrible match. There's no way around it. It's going to be boring. And so I don't condone that. I think that's wrong. But I got along with them well, personally. Mm-hmm. That answer your question? 3X.
I think they're nodding.
Yeah, they're nodding.
Alf, was it? Should we do one more?
Okay, I guess we have
Raymond, do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
We're getting the go ahead. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is from Freeways Slim Thick. I believe
yeah.
we've had before.
That's very interesting. You
Yes.
said you explained that to me before, but
Slim Thick, yeah.
You said that's a good thing.
Yeah, Slim Thick, I think so.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Well, we
Thick?
talked about
Slim
it.
Thick?
Yeah, I think we agreed that you said it was good.
What do you think of the movie The Wrestler? Do you think it paints legends who are now in the indies in a bad light?
Did we not have this question already?
Did you have this one already?
No. All right. He shakes his head no, but we had something similar, or maybe somebody else asked me on the road or something. What did I think of the movie? Does it paint legends in a bad way? The Wrestler. In what bad way? That they can't handle going to the real world or working a regular job after being in the limelight, or that wrestling let the guys from the 70s and the 80s down. There was no retirement, no pension, no nothing. Nobody gave you a speech about, nobody, like the NFL would come in and have people talk to you and counsel you about how to manage your money, or if there was that much money to even manage back then, but you gave your whole life, heart, and soul. No, I think it paints wrestling a certain way. I don't think it paints the legends in a certain way. If anything, it paints a pretty accurate picture, and it's very sad. And very sad how they're treated or how they can end up that way. We all are our own enemies. We've all. You can't blame wrestling for substance abuse. Yes, it could contribute to it because there's access to everything. You get hurt, somebody writes you a script, but at the same time, you could be walking down the street and step in a pothole and get the script and end up addicted to Vicodin. I think if you weighed it out, wrestling world, which and then we did the pros and cons of the Attitude Era before, and I said the biggest con is the addiction to drugs from the injuries because you work and press each other hard. But you weigh the ratio out to the amount of wrestlers in the world to the amount of civilians in the world, the drug addiction. I think the civilians in the world are going to outweigh the wrestlers. We're small, we're not, but what I'm saying is we're all the same. We're all humans. If you have an addictive problem, it's going to happen if you're in a normal world, in a regular job, lifting a box in the post office or something. If you just have that nature or whatever, or that disease, I guess, it's a tough thing. So I think it paints wrestling in a shitty picture, like, because where was wrestling at for these guys after they've given their whole life and heart? Randy Ram, what did he do really wrong? He was taking steroids, I guess, like to stay in the game and be on top of the game. But I think at every professional athlete and stuff, they're all guilty of that in some way or another. He was sleeping in his van because he didn't have money. His trailer, he didn't have money to pay his rent. He was trying to stretch that last thing, but where was his? They didn't make a lot of money, some of these guys. Very select few made a lot of money in the 80s. There was very select few. He might have been on top of the bill, but like as they portrayed, Ernest Miller played the Sheik or whatever in that, right? But like he invested his money or something. He had like a car dealership or something, right? If I remember right.
I don't remember.
I only seen the movie once, and or maybe twice at the most, because I think I watched it with Anna. But he had something. He had a business or something. He got invested in business, but not everybody. As I recently learned the hard way, which we'll go into it in another episode. Like I'm not a business person. I got a GED. I dropped out of high school. I had a kid, but I fit in a world of professional wrestling, but I'm a very poor business person and very about reading paperwork and doing this and this and that. Had a very successful school going down here in South Florida just up to a month ago, but the guy really bamboozled me and not understanding paperwork. Really actually taunted me and wrote me a letter saying like that everything but the word stupid, that I should have learned how to read the paperwork, this and this and that, I didn't know this and that. But I can tell you positively out of that, Raymond and everybody, that I do still have the Gangrel registered trademark. It's all legal. Read back the signed, and that's all on go and that's on good. So looking forward to pushing it forward into the future to bigger and better things. But it was my poor knowledge of running an office or a business or stuff. I know how to wrestle. I know how to give my body to it. I know how to go out there and bust my ass day in and day out, leave every ounce of energy on the stage, kind of like a Bob Seger song. Turn the page. I'm out there, boom, 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 boom. But you're on the next show, and a lot of guys, the newer generation, their business, these kids are educated and stuff, and they're smarter, and there's the YouTube, there's different things, and there's older guys like us saying, hey, do this and this and that. But it was a different time then, so I think it just kind of showed wrestling for what it was back then. And again, I say wrestling owes me nothing. I owe wrestling everything. It saved my life, but I came in 87, which things slowly evolved. The attitude there was more money, different things. So if I didn't save my money and all that, it's more on me, where these guys didn't make a lot of money. If you look at the Rock and Roll Express, their biggest paydays on top, selling out buildings that they're selling out now, they were making nothing, peanuts. So how are they supposed to save peanuts when they're still trying to pay for family, the houses, and make the towns, this and this and that, when the wrestlers coming on like in the early 90s and on through the Monday Night War, where the money just escalated to like where people were making absurd money. And there was smart people like Kevin Nash that knew how to save his money and do business the right way and different things. And there were some people who made bad decisions. Some of us marriages, some drugs and stuff like that, So, but in the movie The Wrestler itself, I think it they did. I don't think it portrayed him in a bad way. I think it portrayed him in an honest way, where he's at in life. And yes, a lot of wrestlers are very much like that, where like they'll find themselves like trying to hang out with one girl, and Tasha thinks that she relates to him because like even like to say it, but even in the dancing industry or exotic dancers, they're kind of like the same thing. They're selling their bodies. What is a wrestler doing every night on TV? He's doing bicep poses for you, the crowd, whatever they're watching. This guy, what a great body! Then he's flipping. So he's doing things with his body. It may not be a dance, but he's selling himself as though they're selling themselves. So they're going to kind of relate because they're in a business of selling themselves, but then they're also on a shelf life. How long can you do that? How long can a girl be considered marketable in that industry? Like, how long before nature or gravity starts changing things and age catches up to you? Same thing in wrestling. So they're going to bond hand in hand. So they're going to kind of have something common there to attach to, and then that's what going to kind of draw on. They got that, and they both have a shelf life. And where they go, and then like in that movie, I think she was trying to change her stars, get out of it. She had a son. She was trying to do the right things by it, and then she kind of pushed him off. And when he needed her, she wasn't there, but then it was too late. He came in, he finished chasing his dream, and ultimately, I think they lead you to believe he died in it. He died. He'd rather die doing what he loved than trying to fake it and make it in the world he didn't feel like he belonged in or existed in or could even cope dealing with people. Like, he shoves his hand into a slicer just to leave there, because like I get that, and I feel nothing but sadness and stuff for that, but no, I don't think it portrays them in a bad way. I think it's very honest.
Sure. I think Cesaro's in the movie, right? Does he have a moment? I think he is, but I think maybe next time or whenever we have time, we should talk about Ready to Rumble. I would love
That's
your
a whole other
views
story.
on that. Yeah.
Looking for the king.
Love the king.
So we wrapping it up, Raymond. What's going on? All right,
That's
so
a thumbs up for us.
that's a thumbs up. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we came up with a name. I don't think Big B's going to work. I don't know. I'm going to take a week. Maybe you all can help us with that. You ladies and gentlemen at home. Maybe send that in some of the YouTubes. Help us name Little Bigfoot here. I won't call him Little Bigfoot, Little Biggie or whatever. Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls, maybe. Biggie Smalls. Or maybe like Biggie Smalls. What's up, baby? Something with Big. I don't know. Okay. But thank you. We'll wrap it up with Kid Cadet. Thank you for being on here again as always.
Thank you. It's such an honor.
Through, another hour and a half or whatever the show may be. And then, thank you.
Episode 9. We did it.
All right. We got to go. We got to get it right to close out. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
You're banging and banging with Gangrel.